Yeah. Okay. Give me a issue. What we found it, we found our topic, part 2 of God. Sorry, God hates dishonesty, part 2. First scriptures found Acts chapter 5, verse 1 to 10. Memory verse is taken from 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 19, and it reads, Nevertheless, the foundation of God's standeth sure, having his seal. The Lord knoweth them that are his, and let everyone that nameth the name of Christ depart from iniquity. Okay, motivational quote. You are known to be a true Christian by the fruits you bring forth. That's true. By your fruits, they will know you. Prophetic word for today. The Lord shall deliver you today from every conscious and unconscious acts of dishonesty in the name of Yahshua. All right. We continue on the issue of dishonesty and how much the Lord hates it. Dishonesty is the exact opposite of honesty. Anyone that engages in it is operating on the same ground as Satan. When the Almighty hates a thing, it shrieks his nostrils, and it is an abomination to him. This therefore means that no man or woman should toy with it, especially someone who claims to be born again and redeemed of the Lord. Every form of insincerity, deception, lying, hypocrisy, and all such is falsehood. A Christian should not be found involved in negative acts like having unjust weights in business, selling fake drinks, medication, building materials, foods, motor parts, many others that are harmful to humans. It is one thing to buy them ignorantly for sale. It is another when you are aware of danger it could cause, but you do such for gains. All the fraudulent acts or falsifying and manipulating facts and figures to defend your integrity, especially in for money or related affairs. Telling half truths. Okay, wow. We don't know what that you're trying to write there. We don't speak them languages, you know. English we speak, my friend. English, English, English. Trader, greetings. No, we're not. Greetings to you. Welcome, trader. If I'm reaching home, kind of gets well with white lies, boasting and extravagation or categories of dishonesty. Where are you from? Kingston, Jamaica. Oh, thank you for letting me give on the time check. The time right now it's 3 minutes past 5 in the wee hours before daybreak. All right, today's fire scripture tells that the story of Ananias and Sapphira, a couple among the early believers who decided to cheat on God. Oh, you're from India. Wow. Nice meeting you. Trader from India. Yeah, man, I'm from Kingston, Jamaica. Jamaican living on the rock. I know a couple Indian people myself on a compound that I work. And I know one of the richest Indians in Jamaica named Kenny Benjamin. I might not know him personally, but I see him a couple of times working at a couple of compounds. I see him. Oh, I am a crypto forex trader. Okay, I figured that out. But I see a name, trader. Okay, big up yourself, man. Big up yourself. A long time people have nudged me and I said to me, uh, get involved in that. Years now over from the time them thing the forex thing I go on. I never interested like on the trading thing. And to me lose all interest in certain things too. Alright, to show me reach now. Ananias and Sapphira, a couple of decided to cheat on God. They sold their possession just like other believers, but they told a lie about the actual amount. How could they think they could manipulate the truth and get away with it? Good question. Unfortunately, they suffered instant death as divine punishment because they grieved the Holy Ghost. Sapphira, the wife, had an opportunity to change, but was guilty of evil compromise. Mhm. This is a big lesson to all believers in Christ. You cannot manipulate God. You might remain silent, waiting to see if you can change. But if there are no changes during the time of mercy, then comes the hammer of judgment. This can be very disastrous. Yahweh won't pamper a stubborn and stiff-necked Christian who does not want to yield to correction and change his or her ways. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, man. Honesty is the best policy. This reminds me some years ago, the time I was younger, only a years younger, probably in my 30s back then. I was on, I was on in Crossroad, going to COK. That time I was a part of COK. COK is a credit union, and I saw eligible gentleman coming, push the door, coming out. So as he reached out by the entrance on the outside of the property, he put his hand in his pocket, and his hand coming up back, he could say his pocket was filled with money. So his hand coming up, and $1,000 fell when his hand came back up and was going back down in his pocket. So I saw everything happening in slow motion. So I said to him, "Hey, so when I say $1,000 fall from you, a gentleman now was behind him, coming briskly, and say, 'Oh, you know, say a female.' I said to him, I saw when his hand was going in his pocket, and I saw everything happening. So how could it not be his?" He laughed. He was the security. So he's working inside as the security. The gentleman come, probably his own money he probably borrowed for something. Went and draw the money, and that gentleman wanted to, if I didn't say it or see what took place, and he went back, probably he would have gotten $1,000 extra. So people have to be honest, man. Don't do anything in this life and expect it. We are all on the radar of God Almighty. Nothing is hidden from the sight of the Creator. Nothing. All are openly exposed before Him. Mm-hmm. So he went back inside. So it does this lesson about God hates honesty. It just bring me back. Hey, son of the king. He says hi to the host and chat. Find live stream. Okay, thank you so much. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. And on one or two times I see things like that. Even me, I see other incidents where it can come to people and money. I even was sharing this yesterday, Thursday morning. I was telling two ladies who were fellow passengers with me we were all at the bus stop waiting for the bus. And I was telling them a scenario where I went to see, okay, when I was living in Portmore, St. Catherine, and I went to pay a loan. Went in my pocket, just to make sure I'm up to the money, correct amount of money. And something fell for me, but the woman behind me moved so fast. And she had a kind of smile on her face. I might try the money. I said, no, man, I come here with all the money and I have my bus fare in one pocket and all the money in the next pocket. So I said, this can't right. Oh, man, I come here with... And she looked on me. I look on her. And she said, you lost something? I said, yeah, that I'm short $1,000 because I came here with the exact amount of money. And I might explain, I said, I have X amount in this pocket so for my fare to go back home. Anyway, she she was adamant says not my own. So I said, oh, if it not be my money? Because I saw when you went down and came back up and you had nothing in your hand when you came in behind me, standing up in the line. My money. And go on, and eventually she gave it back to me. But she was dishonest. Came to the line, she saw me, she pushed my hand in my pocket and dropped the money. One fell for me. I didn't see when it fell. I was checking my money. I said, no man, something wrong here. So I look. But eventually she gave it to me. Wow. And many times in a vehicle, people money drop out. Yes, that was shocking to me as well, son of the king. Shocking. All going to this institution and she decided no, sir, she want defraud me of my little tuppence. Oh dear her. Try to defraud me of my little tuppence. Anyway, to give it back to me still, but we must always be honest. Speak the truth. Be honest with our fellow human beings. Many people are not honest. Some are doing things or selling stuff for years, and that are hazardous to our health just for money. So sad. But honesty is the best policy, man. Some things they will warn you, like for example, cigarettes. There's a warning on the label by the Surgeon General says smoking is not good for one's health. But yet still people smoke. I try to avoid walking um beside or whether the front or the back end of Mandela Park. Too much of my fellow Jamaicans, especially whether male or female, gather around whether the front of the park or the back end of the park where the taxis are, and on all of them smoking. God help us who don't smoke. Second-hand smoking does a lick us left and right. And I think it's in my mind, I think it's something fashionable. Everybody having a cigarette or a spliff in their hand. Nah, yeah, man, we try avoid walking there, so we try walk the longer we go around. Those to avoid getting into the smoke area of those people, whether they're waiting on a taxi, because it's the taxi be to the back end of the Mandela Park in half a tree. Oh, I agree hear them turn up. Yeah, so I agree hear them on the side there. Locks. Yes. Back to me about dishonesty. Yeah, and it was at times I think people said money fell from me and called my attention to it, and I thank them so much. I try to decently with my fellow Jamaicans. I try to do anything to bring reproach upon my Father, my God. Yeah, man. So this was a good lesson. Okay, this was a good lesson. Has brought me to the end of this devotional, and we have another one, part 3. Hopefully tomorrow I can read this one as well. Yeah, man. So but the two what shocked me the most when me in my 30s years ago. I can't recall how much years ago, it's a good amount of years. I could see okay. And Jen come out and pick up money out of him pockets. One fell from him and the security rush come to the entrance. No, and I say, oh, but no self people. I say, can we try to do it, you know? After the gentleman come out and stop, then come and take up him own money. That security was a dishonest fellow. Because he wanted to defraud the man of his own money. More for MSMEs. Okay, Minister of Finance Favor Williams is at us for the next era of public procurement in Jamaica. Okay, that's a look snappage of this. Only about 1% of the government's annual procurement spending recently reaches micro, small, and medium-sized enterprise MSME. Disparately, Finance Minister Faber Williams say they upgraded the government of Jamaica's electronic procurement portal is intended to address the platform will increase MSMEs access to public contracts. Okay. Speaking Thursday during the launch of the updated digital procurement portal, Williams said the modernized system eliminates outdated technical requirements and creates more opportunities for local businesses to access a share of the government's roughly 470 billion annual procurements spent. Let me put the scale in perspective. Each year, the government of Jamaica spends roughly US 3 billion, translated into Jamaican dollars. That's about 470 billion, depending on the currency at any point in time. And this procedures, goods, services, and works from the private sector. This is close to, I think, about 13% of our GDP, and yet of the of that enormous sum, only about 1% reaches our micro, small, and medium-sized enterprise, the minister pointed out. That imbalance is exactly what we are determined to correct so that more Jamaican businesses can share in the billions that government spend each year, particularly as we rebuild in the wake of Hurricane Melissa. We have a pause right here. The people in Bunga St. Elizabeth, business people, them not in a rebuilding, minister. So I am wondering what rebuilding you're talking about. Nothing is happening. Nothing at all. All those billions of dollars given to Jamaica, those generators and all other stuff, where have all those goods given to Jamaica not reached to the people who needed it? That's what we hear in the streets. All right, here, continue reading now. So every procurement decision carries real responsibility. It must inspire public confidence, deliver value for money, create economic opportunity, and make certain that every dollar entrusted to the government works harder for the people we serve, she said during the event held at AC Hotel King in Kingston. According to Williams, Go Jeep 2.0 is an upgraded vision of the government's online system for buying goods, works, and services from the private sector. She explained that the remodeling of the digital portal will see the removal of outdated barriers, puts in place stronger record keeping aimed at making the process faster and more transparent. It's easier to use. You no longer need to install extra software just to submit a bid. You log in from any ordinary web browser on any device, including your phone. It's better connected. The system now talks to other government systems, so the same information doesn't have to be entered twice. It keeps a proper record digitally, explained the minister. Every key decision made during evaluation is captured and tracked automatically instead of living in a paper, living in a paper file or in someone's memory. It cuts duplicates paperwork for government staff and it collects far better data on how long procurements take, how much completion is there, and how well or small business set aside are working, Williams said. She also pointed out that bidders and buyers will now be able to follow opportunities that the government brings to market and see who ultimately wins the work. Furthermore, she assured that Jeep that Go Jeep 2.0 was not the finished product, noting that upgrades will continue over time. It is a calyx for the next era of public procurement in Jamaica, and over the next years, we will build a fully integrated end-to-end digital procurement system, and that connects planning, trending evaluation, contract management, supplier performance, and payment. Imagine in a year or two being able to open GoJeep and see the goods, works, and services that government intends to buy over the coming years. A business could then prepare, access its capacity, build partnerships, secure certification, arrange financing, and position itself to compete for or MSMEs, especially that advanced visibility can be the difference between watching from the sidelines and winning the work, said the finance minister. Meanwhile, Chief Public Procurement Policy Officer Javel Barnett also highlighted the gap that exists for MSMEs, pointing out that of the 300,000 active businesses registered with the Companies Office of Jamaica, less than 10,000 unique people and entities are awarded government contracts each year. Government is one of the largest purchasers of goods, works, and services. And so the question that we have asked ourselves at the Office of Public Procurement Policy is how many Jamaican businesses see government as a potential customer. How many entrepreneurs look to the public procurement system as an opportunity? Question. And perhaps most important, how many do not see public procurement as an opportunity? And if they didn't, why? Good question, said Barrett. He hailed Thursday's launch of Go Jeep 2.0 as an opportunity to ensure that every tax-paying Jamaican has a fair chance to participate in the public procurement process. Mhm. Mhm. Okay. All right. That's the vision that I have, and that's what I want to see as a Jamaican. Why? I want to see more Jamaicans participating in public procurement. When public procurement operates as I want to see it happen, small businesses, hundreds and thousands of them in each community will become a mechanism through which public procurement will work best and will be able to develop our economy more if it becomes the instrument of change that government really wants it to be. That is the power of public procurement, he said. So the king wrote something here. I said, this sounds good for small business. My horse. Okay. Yeah, man. Sound good, yes? No relevant persons can um, qualify to be a part of that. Anyway, let's continue for the next article. PNP rips into Mackenzie city's misleading claims about monthly allocation to local authorities. The opposition People's National Party has accused local government minister Desmond Mackenzie misleading the country and has called for him to provide proof that local authorities are allocated between 600 million and 700 million each month to carry out road repairs. You hear that? The party made a call during a press conference on Tuesday, where several PNP mayors and minority leaders in municipal corporations challenged the claim by Mackenzie, alarmed that the figure quoted by Mackenzie could give that each municipal corporation was given more than 600 million monthly. The PNP spokesperson on local government and patisserie democracy, Natalie Nater, told the press conference that the sum was significantly less. Da-da-dee. Boy, I didn't know a long time say politicians love to use big figures to make points, to look big to the wider world. Yes. The pro oops. Oh, all right. The problem here is chronic underfunding, accompanied by misleading political statements, creating unrealistic public expectation, asserted Natalie Nata, who is also a member of parliament for St. Catherine North Central. She said the PNP believes local government should be strengthened, not weakened. According to her maths, the average monthly figure is closer to 473 million, which is shared between all 14 municipal corporations, including Portmore, the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, KSMAC, of which the PNP Andrew Swaby is mayor, is granted the largest share of around 85 million. The St. Catherine Municipal Corporation, of which the PNP Normal Scott is mayor, is allocated 60 million, while the Hanover Municipal Corporation, which is headed by the PNP Shadeen Samuels, gets the smallest amount allocated of 13 million. Wow. The Jamaican people deserve the truth about the state of local government and resources available to the municipal corporation to maintain all roads and other critical municipal infrastructure, Nita Grave stated. She insisted that the recent assertion by Minister Mackenzie that the corporation receives up to 700 million each month for road maintenance from property tax is just not true. The time right now is 5:39 in Kingston, Jamaica. You can hear the birds them a chirp and the sun will come out as it, but outside, not what I can see before you. Let me take a look at stroll outside. So outside, yeah. Let me block off one light. Thing. So I like to know that. Rock the boat. Yes, indeed. I soon come back to the article and the light on destroyer. So keep off them vampire. For me. Cause must have a buzz in my ears, so to bird cage. My lord. Must to them terribly, see. Must to them terrible Rasta. Alright. Turn off the gate light though. Yeah. Mackenzie, while addressing the handover ceremony for grants under the Clean Up and Restoration Initiative in St. James in late June, said all municipal authorities receive a share of between 600 million and 700 million each month from the Ministry of Finance. The local government minister said the allocation were made based on the number of roads in each parish. Take issue with the comment. During Tuesday's press conference, the pushback continued. He has further berated councillors for saying they don't have money to do this, they don't have money to do that, and suggesting that he is intended to mash down the lie. Today we intend to separate fact from fiction and reality from political talk aimed at an election agenda. It Grieved declared. She accused Mackenzie of using large figures to create the impression that municipal corporations are flush with cash. She said when the allocation figures are examined, the facts tell an entirely different story. I recover my face for you, son of the king, because as I say already, these politicians, they have to use figures to see him pretty in the people them eyes. All right. I've been outlining the amount given to each local authority. Every month, the PNP spokesperson argued that the figures presented by the local government minister are inflated as they combine funding streams that are either restricted or simply unavailable for routine maintenance. This is not merely an accounting issue. This is a political propaganda. It is also about presenting correct information to the people of Jamaica. It's about accountability and credibility, she said. Nita Grieve lamented that councillors representing both the PNP and government Jamaica Labour Party are broad brushed as if they can do more because they are supposedly receiving adequate funds. She used the KSMEC as an example highlighting that discussions are made from 85 million monthly figures, leaving only 18 million annually for each councillor to effect road repair in their division, comparing the cost of repairing 1 kilometer of road as prescribed by the National Works NWA under the shared prosperity through accelerated improvement to our road network Spark program. The veteran MP noted that it would take a councillor 4 years to complete a single kilometer of road with said drains. That figure alone expresses the inadequacies of the allocation currently provided to municipal corporations. It is worsening by the fact that the municipal corporations are responsible for almost 20,000 kilometers of road, more than twice that of the NWA, she said. Weighing in on the issue, Swaby told the press conference that with the KSMAC having responsibility for well in excess of 100 kilometers of road, the corporation faces a shortfall of 248 million each month to carry out repairs. Apart from funding issues, he said the KSMAC is facing a stifling shortage with only 4 officers to service all 40 divisions where 10 is idle. He said the situation remains unresolved despite numerous representation to the local government service commission. Swaby also shared that KSMAC has to be paying salaries from own source revenues each month following the public sector reclassification exercise that increased salaries. When he addressed the press conference, Mayor of Savlamar, Doreen, lamented that 24 million to 25 million allocated to the municipal corporation each month was woefully inadequate. He also highlighted that since Hurricane Melissa last October, at least 60 people remain in shelters across the parish, and that up to 40% of homes in eastern Westmoreland are still under tarpaulin. Yes, see, so the answer come out there. Nothing has been happening. People in dismal situation, same way. So where are all the funds now going? That is the cry. Here one of the mayor them say, Mayor of Savlamar, say people still under tarpaulin in eastern Westmoreland. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Sweet, sweet Jamaica. As to remember names, help me build up Jamaica, land of food and water. What him saying in the song? Dollars now run. That's why not dollars. Dollars now run the right way. So the mere them do all the repairs. Cause a whole heap of road works. The boat whole heap of road want fix. Patrol them a get bigger and deeper. Car off your swerve, bike off your swerve out a pothole. Not good for any economy and thing. Dangerous with the driving or riding on these roads with these humongous potholes. Plus the drains and thing where need for clean. Yeah man, this has brought me to the end of this article. Let's see now what this one has to know. Frustration in over river. Let's see what this one has there. Oh, a bridge. See a picture of a bridge over river. President Devon near the incomplete bridge inside the community. Then put some grass, but this look dangerous, man. And it's a wide gap too. My gosh. Montego Bay St. James in April when workmen took part in Hurricane Melissa battered over River Bridge, reassembling it and put it back in the spot it graced before the storm. Residents thought it would only be a matter of time before life was back to normal. Months later, nothing else has been done, and communities such as Side and Horlock remain without a direct route into Montego Bay, burdened by extra costs and time consumed in traveling a long route. Residents are becoming increasingly frustrated. Wow. I sell cane, and when the cars could pass, then I could carry out more. Now I have to walk with a member of the Over River community who identified himself as Donovan, told the Jamaica Observer during a recent visit to the area. We need it to fix up and put back the right way so that vehicles can drive on it again, he urged. Devon was one of several people who said they choose to walk across the complete structure because the alternative, which involves traveling on Johns Hall Road, is so much longer. Wow. The bridge material structure once again spans the Montego River, but the abutments have not yet been completed, and there is other work needed to return the bridge to its pre-storm status. During last October's Category 5 storm, at least 30-foot high floodwaters ripped the metal bridge from its concrete pillars, with their communities cut off. Residents walked through the river to get to the other side. 5 months later, after engineers assessed the bridge and determined that it was largely in good condition, the plan was to return unusable section to their original location to ensure the bridge becomes fully operational once again. Okay. Based on what I'm seeing, I just a few look more material to the other to go over the other side based on the picture I may look on. A motorcyclist navigate a makeshift extension to the incomplete over river bridge. You see a picture in a positioning bike to go over on some wood that they place some on the bridge. They have been working on it for a while and then leave it and gone. A despondent resident, Eileen, said Wednesday, every time you see National Works Agency come down here, them just come, look and gone, and you not see them come back and do any more work on it. People need to go back to and from, she insisted. Wow. Poor people, them would have most frustrated. My fellow Montegonians are people, this bridge carried them into Montego Bay over the Montego River. Okay. While they wait impatiently, residents have tried to help themselves. Bikers took the lead, using some of the material on site to collab together a makeshift route. Just as frustrated at the slow pace of the work, Councillor Jovel Graham, Jamaica Labour Party, Springmount Division, said he had expected it to be completed within 6 weeks. Instead, 3 months later, he is still appealing for the bridge to be finished. We had started it some time ago. We have made headway in assembling the bridge, but we still have to assemble the finish, he explained. Cabin newspaper. Oops. Okay. This. I'm still up on the tree. them couple mango up on the tree, stringy. I have all heap of them in my freezer. How much tree produce a whole heap of mango thanks be to Yahweh. Which way may I walk? Take that way. I like walk barefoot at times, you know. Quite good for you. Hopefully we can get even 2 or 3 pear off of the tree before the pear lover pick them off. Pear the avocado. We call it pear in Jamaica. But the correct name of avocado. They're young still. Last year I don't get none. The person who worked near to the tree picked them off. And then I see them. Couple of young one. Avocado. When you work at a place where some people, you see, it's come back to the same topic or earlier in the devotional segment. I talk about dishonesty. One person work near to the where the pear tree there or avocado tree is. Every year, the person who work the gardener, who work near to that tree, he may work for the property and he work for an individual. And he always have to pick out the pear them. And we who work for the property can't get none because through the tree around us. So sometimes I don't remember it. When I pass, remember say if I walk that way then look to go and observe the pear, the avocado tree, and if I can pick off a fit one and put it down till it's ripen, you know, you don't get none. People like that, I don't know. I don't know what to say for somebody like that. But anyway, Take off my slippers. Want to make some tea before I end this live stream, you know? Yeah, I want to make some tea. But thank you, know, trader from India. Yeah, trader. Big up son of the king. Trader from India. Yes. So, alright, you know, some things I never understand. Because I wouldn't speak them type of way there. Anyway, big up on yourself and thank you so much. Salute. Heart of love. Thank you for giving me a strength with this live stream. Bless up and take care of yourself for now.